Welcome back to another episode of ABA Compare and Contrast, the series where I take characters from ABA and compare them to characters from Heaven's Arena. Today's episode, Monkey D. Luffy. Just like the past few videos, Luffy is also a starter character for ABA. Although for this episode, I think I'll be covering things a little bit differently here. Before we continue, don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys like this series. We're almost at 1.5k subscribers, so it would really mean a lot to me. Now, as you may know, ABA characters tend to have an awakening for each character, and in those awakenings, they usually take different forms. As for Luffy, he takes the form of Gear 2nd, and if you don't know already, Gear 2nd Luffy and Base Luffy are two separate characters in the Heaven's Arena. If you haven't caught up with what I'm going on about yet, basically for this episode, I'll be covering both Luffys from Heaven's Arena to ABA's PTS Luffy. So, why don't we start with ABA's Luffy first? In ABA, Luffy has a total of 8 moves as usual, 4 in base, and 4 in awakening. Although, he technically has 10 moves if you want to count his air variants. Now, these moves consist of Gatling, a decently high damaging barrage which combo extends, but is blockable. Kick Gatling. This is only achievable if you use Gatling off the ground. This is essentially the same as its ground variant, except it supposedly does a little bit more damage. Bazooka, a high damaging move which ragdolls and knocks the opponent back. And is also Luffy's only guard break. This move will not ragdoll if the opponent is guard broken from it. Rocket, an auto aim which will pull Luffy towards the opponent. Once he comes in contact with them, they will be knocked down, allowing you to combo extend / combo start. This move is 360 degree blockable, meaning if Luffy uses it from behind you, you won't be hit by it if you're blocking. And for his final base move, Pistol, a simple auto tracking move which is blockable, and does slight knockback, making it where you cannot combo extend with it. Although, if blocked, it cancels the opponent's block for a brief period of time. This might come in handy when playing a team-oriented game mode. As for his awakening, Luffy pumps more blood into his body, giving him a significant power boost, changing his moveset, and that being Jet Gatling, a quick barrage which is blockable that deals heavy amounts of damage, and also combo extends. Jet Stamp Gatling. Like in base, this move is only achievable when used in the air. This supposedly deals more damage as well, but unlike its ground variant, it doesn't seem to be as useful when it comes to combo extending. Jet Bazooka. Luffy takes a second before launching himself forwards at the opponent, as he then unleashes his bazooka onto them, which will ragdoll and knock back if hit, and guard break if blocked, having the same properties as base bazooka. Jet Pistol. This move works like base, but a lot faster and deals slightly more damage. And finally, Gear 3rd. Luffy creates a giant arm by blowing air into his thumb, as he then uses it to punch forward. Anyone hit by it will take heavy amounts of damage. If up close to Luffy when he does this, the damage will be reduced. But if you're past a certain range, it will insta-kill. Although, if blocked, it'll do around 3 hits of 25 damage. And now, onto Heaven's Arena's Luffy. Obviously first, we'll cover base Luffy. This Luffy's moveset consists of Pistol, a decently ranged move which has slight auto aim, which also knocks back, but is blockable. If used in the air, this move will down slam instead. Rocket. Luffy stretches his arms forward. If anyone's caught in it, Luffy will be brought towards them, as he then headbutts them. This move has a 360 degree block, just like ABA's Luffy. Gatling, a short barrage which doesn't deal too much damage, but it does combo extend, and it also bypasses block. And finally, for his ultimate, Bazooka. Luffy stretches his arms back as he then unleashes his bazooka. This move deals a decent amount of damage, it also hits grounded opponents and obviously guard breaks. Now for Gear 2nd Luffy's moveset. This Luffy has a total of 5 different moves, those being Jet Pistol, a decently ranged move which knocks back and is blockable. Unlike base Pistol, this move will not down slam in the air, allowing you to be able to wall combo with it. Jet Bazooka. Similar to ABA's Jet Bazooka, except this one doesn't guard break. Jet Gatling, a blockable short barrage which deals a good amount of damage, and combo extends. Jet Gatling Extended. Just as the name suggests, it's basically just Jet Gatling but longer. In payback for being longer, this move will also damage yourself in the process. As for his ultimate, Gear 3rd. A very high damaging move which guard breaks and hits grounded opponents, as usual to Heaven's Arena ultimates. After this move ends, Luffy will deflate, which knocks him back a bit. If he hits a wall in this state, he will take slight damage. Now, with all movesets covered, as you can tell, ABA's Luffy and Heaven's Arena's Luffy are very similar, with nothing too special. At this point in the video, this is where I give my opinion on them. For this, I'll do two separate ones, one for base Luffy and one for Gear 2nd Luffy. So first, I'll talk about ABA's base Luffy. This Luffy is really overpowered, and he's mainly carried by one move, that being Gatling. With the whole Gatling hitbox update, it made it where the hits are more consistent, making it where if you're hit by a single second of the Gatling, you essentially got yourself stuck in a combo. This gives Luffy one of the most easiest combos ever, and I feel like due to this, plus the fact that two of his moves have auto-aim on them, makes him one of, if not the best starter character in ABA. Now, as for Heaven's Arena's Luffy, this Luffy is very lackluster. He doesn't really have too much going for him. Even though the moves are practically the same as ABA's, the way the moves function are a lot more bland. For combos, the main thing that you rely on is Gatling, since if you're not near a wall, you can't really use Rocket to combo extend. And Pistol, it's only really good when you're about to land your ultimate, or when your opponent's far away, but even then they can still just block it. Now, moving on to ABA's Gear 2nd. Just like in base, this Luffy is heavily carried by his Gatling, since it's really his only combo extender. Now, you could make the argument about down slamming into Bazooka and hoping your opponent blocks it, but that's never guaranteed, so it's not really a viable option. And again, due to the whole hitbox update, one hit from Gatling is practically just death. And to make it even worse, Jet Gatling seems to have an extended hitbox in the front of it, even though it looks like it shouldn't. Now, obviously, we can't forget about the ultimate. This ultimate is really funky because if you're in the distance of insta-kill, well, you know, you get insta-killed. But my question is why it does over 50 damage if you block it from that distance. I'm pretty sure it deals around 75 damage, if I'm correct, which is about the same amount of damage as Super Spirit Bomb when it's not blocked. Now, for Heaven's Arena's Gear 2nd. Unlike its base counterpart, this Luffy is a whole lot better, and definitely works out well in terms of combos, even if its only main combo extender is also Gatling. But that isn't much of a problem since we have stuff like Extended Gatling, and the fact you can combo Bazooka into Pistol for more damage. But other than that, this Luffy really doesn't have too much going for it either. I mean, the ultimate is really solid, but that's practically the point of all ultimates. Plus, you have to remember that this Luffy also inflicts self-damage, and that self-damage mainly comes from your main source of damage, Jet Gatling Extended. In conclusion, I believe that ABA's Luffy is far superior in every way. Playstyle, combos, fun, etc. Now, that isn't to say that Heaven's Arena's Luffy is bad, but it just can't compete with the things that ABA's Luffy brings to the table. And now that concludes today's episode of ABA Compare and Contrast. If you like this series, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your take of ABA's Luffy versus Heaven's Arena's Luffy in the comment section below. And with that all said, I'll see you. Peace.